Meet Lionel Messi. 17 years old. A quiet teenager standing beneath the colossal lights of Camp Nou. For most, it would be overwhelming. But for Lionel Messi, it was destiny arriving right on time. The moment he stepped onto that pitch, something shifted. The stadium that had hosted legends, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Xavi, now watched a new chapter being written. He was small, yes, but he moved like a whisper that left an echo. His teammates noticed. His coaches noticed. And soon, the entire football world couldn't look away. With every match, he became more than just a player, he became a phenomenon. The way he carried the ball close to his feet, dancing through defenders as though guided by instinct rather than strategy, it was art in motion. And yet, he stayed the same boy from Rosario. No arrogance. Just work, repetition, and quiet excellence. No spectacle. Just work, repetition, and quiet excellence. But greatness never comes alone. It brings pressure. And pressure, if embraced, becomes power. When Ronaldinho, the magician of his era, smiled at him in training and said, "This kid will be better than me," it wasn't flattery. It was prophecy. Messi became the heartbeat of Barcelona's golden age. Under Pep Guardiola, a new style of football emerged: tiki-taka, short passes, fast rhythm, collective genius. But in that orchestra, one instrument played unlike any other. Every flick, every sprint, every goal felt like a glimpse into something divine. Fans began calling him La Pulga, the flea, small but unstoppable. He was redefining possibility itself. 2009, the Champions League final in Rome. Barcelona versus Manchester United. The ball arcs through the air. Messi leaps, a header from a man who stood 5 feet 7 inches. Goal. And with it, the legend was sealed. That year, Messi lifted his first Ballon d'Or. Then another. Until the count itself became unbelievable. A record number, unmatched, unimaginable. But numbers were never what drove him. It was the game itself, the simplicity of joy that started in the alleys of Rosario. Even after the world crowned him king, he never stopped being that boy who looked up to the sky after every goal, a silent thank you to his. Still, even legends meet trials. For Messi, that test wore the colors of his homeland. While Barcelona adored him, Argentina was torn. They called him a European now, said he had left home too soon. For years, international glory eluded him. Copa America finals lost. World Cup heartbreaks. The weight of a nation pressing down on his shoulders. There were nights he almost walked away. 2016, after another Copa final defeat, he whispered to reporters, "I'm done." The boy who carried a city, a club, a dream, was exhausted. But true greatness doesn't end in defeat. It gathers itself. It returns. And it rises higher than ever before. So he came back. Not because he owed it to anyone, but because he owed it to himself, to that kid with taped-up boots running through Rosario streets, to Celia watching from above. 2021, Copa America, Brazil. Argentina versus Brazil. The weight of history on his back, and the whole world watching. When the final whistle blew, tears streamed down his face. At last, his country lifted the trophy, and so did he. For the first time, the boy who left home came. Full circle. Every sacrifice, every injection, every lonely night far from family, all of it had meaning. And yet, even that wasn't the final act. 2022. Qatar. The World Cup. For Messi, the last dance. The world's eyes turned to one man. Not the richest, not the loudest, but the most relentless. In 7 matches, he wove magic once more. He scored, assisted, led, believed, carrying not just 11 players, but 45 million hearts. Steady, emotional. December 18, 2022. Lusail Stadium. The whistle blows. Argentina are world champions. Lionel Messi, the boy from Rosario, holds the golden trophy high under a sea of lights and tears. It wasn't just a win. It was a homecoming. A lifetime's promise fulfilled. From a small apartment in Rosario to the summit of world football, Messi's story isn't about luck or destiny. It's about perseverance, love, and quiet conviction. He never shouted his greatness. He proved it. One moment, one goal, one act of grace. One act of grace at a time. When he looks to the sky after scoring, it's more than celebration, it's remembrance. A boy honoring the woman who once held his hand to practice. A man honoring the city that forged him. A legend reminding us that humility is the highest form of strength. Now, when children across continents lace their boots, they dream the same dream, not just of trophies, but of resilience. Because Lionel Messi taught us something far greater than football. That your beginnings don't define you. Your belief does. Powerful. He showed that even when the world says you're too small, too quiet, too different, you can still become the biggest name in it. He reminded us that greatness isn't about shouting louder than others, it's about working harder than anyone thought possible. And he proved that even the most extraordinary lives begin in the most ordinary places. Meet Lionel Messi, the boy who became his nation's heartbeat. The man who redefined his sport, and the legend whose humility will echo long after the final whistle fades. Because sometimes, the smallest feet leave the deepest footprints. Thank you for watching. I post content like this every week. Kindly like, comment, and subscribe to be notified when I post more videos.